Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean 2. Last time we showed off some additional endings with Reina, and we activated the limiter off mode for the final boss. So we need to go to the alternate super dungeon place so we can level up so we can be able to take him down. How do we get there? Well, if you go inside Fun City and head all the way over to the Battle Arena, talk to this mysterious old man, he'll help me recover past memories. That doesn't sound particularly useful. What exactly are you talking about? Currently fashionable virtual reality to recover memories from your subconscious. If you die in a virtual world, then your psyche could be destroyed and you would really die. Will you try? I guess so. No regrets. Now, he won't do this until after you visited the final save point in the final dungeon, but yes, they warp you back to Arlia. And the Vern back there is our way back to Need if we ever need to go back there. You just talk to him. Hey, come back here. Come back here, you little bugger. Get over here. Yeah. If you say I don't understand, you stay here. If you say you silly Vern, he'll punch you and send you all the way back. So, anyway. So yeah, we are back on Expel. We can talk to people. I don't know what they say in regards to how long we've been here. We get a free rest there if we want it. But other than that, we get nothing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to talk to a bunch of people and see if I can get some things. There is one thing that I would like to show off. The last thing we should need to steal in the game. Great. No. I also want to be able to pickpocket. Where? There's my magician's hand. And because I don't know if this is going to work, we're going to save state. No, it didn't work. Give me a minute and I'll try again. Basically, I guess in the meantime, this kid was born. Sure, he's not there before, but give me a minute. There we go. That only took me going outside and coming back in. These Santa's boots. This kid won't be there at the beginning of the game. What these do is the same thing they did in the next game, or the same thing they will do in the next game. And where's my Santa's boots? Filled with dreams of children. No, it's actually filled with dreams of free items. If you go resting in while equipping these, you'll randomly get some items. So that could be worthwhile, especially if you have fast forward and there's a good fast way of doing it. I don't really know if there is. I haven't looked into it because I really don't care at this point. We're just going to go straight into the final dungeon, or the optional dungeon anyway. Where is my Berserk ring? Am I blind? Or no, I'm looking for a fairy ring. That's right. I used the other one. There it is. I guess I should take the beret off too. Put my Odin's helm back on. And there we go. So what I'm going to do now is head out here. And yes, your Synod has magically transported itself here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around to some of the towns and see if there's any new lines of dialogue. If there's anything particularly interesting, I'll show it off. If not, then we'll meet up wherever I happen to be and we'll go find the final, or the bonus dungeon. Okay, so I got some bunny shoes. I figured I'd actually try the Santa's boots out, and here's a good example of a situation where it will work for you. You equipped him with the Santa's boots, and I've gotten a few items already. Let's see where they all are. These are all the same ones I've seen before. Did I get anything new? I don't think I did. No, those are junk. I got this. Woo, just might protect the wearer. Resistance ring. Don't need that. But I got some bunny shoes out of it. So you can get bunny shoes. You can also get the good tri-emblems, not the tri-emblem, the tri-emblem. If you can, happen to get lucky enough and get a tri-emblem, I would, and you're using Reina at this point in the game, it's really, really good for her. But I wouldn't go out of my way trying to do this over and over again, trying to get it. But this is a situation where it actually makes sense because you stand in front of the person, you go to sleep, and you don't ever have to press anything else. You can just basically hold down fast forward and try over and over again until you get lucky. Now, I'm not going to do any more of this because I don't really care, but I figured I'd find a good situation or a good way of doing it for you. By the way, we're in the town of Mars in Celine's house. So, anyway, yeah, I didn't get anything of value out of it, but if you can get a tri-emblem, it would be worthwhile. Other than that, I'm going to keep looking. Okay, we're back. So I went around, I started talking to people. Some people are like, if you go to the Liqueur front lines, they're still waiting for the Liqueur Hope to show up. Some people seem to have gone beyond that. Our ancient writings still haven't been translated by Dr. Keith. You know, there's not a whole lot to do around here. You can talk to people, but most of them say similar things or non-important things. Alright, before continuing, we want to do a few things. You'll want to find a bubble lotion, a bitter lotion, or a melting lotion. Usually you should have picked up at least probably one of each of these throughout the game, but if not, this particular one can be created through compounding using this thing, Arcus, I don't know what that is, and a wolfsbane, an Artemis leaf and a wolfsbane, or a mandrake and a wolfsbane. It's one of 4 options. It's usually pretty easy to get. What it does is it gives it, if you use it in battle on your character, it gives your weapon a chance of inflicting instant death. This really isn't going to matter until we're right at the end, and it's only an alternative method. It's entirely possible to do everything without any of these lotions, but I figured I might as well set one up in advance. The Kamikaze tonic is created from more of the Arcus thing, and rose hips, or mandrake and rose hips. And if you combine those, it's one of 4 options, you get a Kamikaze tonic. This will increase your attack strength by 50% in battle. Now there are other ones, a Lilith tonic and an attack vial, both of which have negative effects on top of giving you 50% increased attack power. This one just gives you 50% increased attack power, so this one's the best one. So we might as well reproduce all these. If you're looking for the items that you need, you'll want to go to either Hilton, right here, or you'll want to go over to the other one on this continent. There's Cross there, and the one over here will be the town of Lingua. You can go there. I would also recommend picking up all of the excess items that you'll want. Make sure you have as many items as you need. Max out on things like spectacles for identifying things, blueberries, blackberries, any type of healing items that you want. Let's see, resurrection bottles have more than one way of reviving people. What else do we need? Stone curing, paralysis healing, all this other types of thing that you want to do. You also want to make sure that you have a few ingredients for food. We'll figure it out when we get in there. And what else? Yeah, I was told in somewhere that this was supposed to be used in battle, but it's not. It's kind of sad because it revives everybody with full HP and MP. So, if you ever go outside of battle, just use this. Now, you'll want conductor's batons, pet food, absolutely. You'll want to pick up a bunch of those. Stuff like that, the basic things. And the other thing is, like I was saying, have a few pieces of food or just have a bunch of ingredients so you can make food when you get in there. Either way will work. But yeah, if you're all set up and ready to go, then we can fly around to the one area that we haven't been before. I'm not sure if this island was even here before, but it is now. It's this desert island in the bottom left. It's a very massive desert area. And if you go over here, eventually, turn thing, there it is. And once we go over here, before going in, save, because there is no save point in any of the 13 floors of this place. Now, I have no plans to bring Raina's party in this far. She's pretty much done at this point. If you guys have something in particular you want me to show off with Raina's Path in the Cave of Trials or anywhere else, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But if not, then she's just going to stay where she is, and we're going to keep with this path. And I love this theme. So good. So good. All right. This is the Cave of Trials. It's organized into floors. Should be treasure chest up here. Let's grab that. Fruit nectar. I believe that's also a piece of food or an ingredient.
Do it with spirit.
All right, so now have these guys attack you, and if you do, oh, what is it? If you do your stars from your star guard, it will instantly kill them. At least if they're the ones I'm thinking of. Other than that, you can't do any damage to them when you're facing their shields. But if you come up from behind them, then you can do damage just fine.
And this is how the monsters cease to exist.
And if you'll notice, Chisato lost pretty much all of her MP in that one fight. That's because of her weapon. It wasn't really a big deal before because I wasn't needing to do a lot of damage. But it uses MP in every shot. Every single shot from, or every single hit from something like the tear gas ability will drain her MP. And it really isn't a big deal until you hit this point in the game. I would recommend using blackberries to heal outside of battle, and inside of battle I would recommend using something else that you can reproduce. Herbal oil is one of them, or anything else that happens to work for you. There's Holy Mist for HP. I would keep those for in battle. For HP outside of battle, use Reina or use blueberries. Blueberries and blackberries you can buy by calling shop within the dungeon. And pretty much everything else you can't buy. Any other healing items anyway. Alright, so let's head up here. Okay, maybe not. Thought there was an item up there. I am wrong.
I will win.
More enemies.
Tear gas.
But yeah, we're just going to spam spells at this point because I want to build them up, especially up against those shields. Do note that the enemies in here can inflict stone pretty easily. Some of them can inflict paralysis. So if you're not protected against them, make sure to watch out for it. And there will be one treasure chest on each floor that's kind of like a special one, the main focus of the floor, a link stock. Now, we haven't had one of these before, but basically, I should probably put your thing back on. Fairy ring right there, blind. So let's see here. Where did this feel? The link combo, we had this one before. I showed how this one worked. Basically, the link stock works in combination with it. I don't know where it is. Is it a key item? I've never really bothered. Oh, it is. Okay. Mysterious Amulet increases linking ability by 1. I think what this does is when you go to use the link combo ability and go to steal from a particular character, you can steal from the stock instead. I would guess you could only use it once, but I'm not particularly sure. I don't use it, so it doesn't really matter. At least not to me. You'll notice that we aren't gaining nearly the same amount of levels that we were before. The enemies don't give nearly as much experience at this point, but that will change. And there are definitely some effective strategies for leveling up. Oh, maybe you can't just attack them from the back. Whenever they're red like that, I guess you don't do any damage to them. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I just keep spamming attacks on these guys, and I find that's the most effective way of dealing with them. That way I can build up my techs. And I really do need to build up some of my techs, like tear gas. I would like that built up by the end of this area so that I can use them on the super bosses. Let's see, where's my blackberries at? If you're starting to run low on blackberries, you can always just use the call shop ability through Familiar. That's a crappy tri-emblem. And there's 2 more chests.
This is bad. Here's the enemy.
And a new enemy. Not that he lasts very long. These guys can use weaker spells like Light Cross. I haven't used that forever. And it does no damage.
Well,
night.
that's somewhere around 80 points.
But yeah, definitely a lot fewer items, or a lot fewer experience at this point. Juicy beef. Wonder drug. I'm going to use none of these things. Keep going this way. Pull a lever. That opens the door to go forward, but we want to grab something first.
Here comes the enemy.
Here comes the enemy.
Mirrors.
Yeah, basically a lot of my battles at this point are just going to be me spamming. Once I've built up tear gas a little bit, I'll be switching over to Opera, and I'll be building up Healing Star, because that's something I've kind of neglected a little bit lately. So I'd like to go check it out. Yeah, it should be this one. Should have an item. Blueberry. Now, I do want to note something in this room here. If you run over this tile, I think it's 4 times, you'll fall down and you'll go from the 1st floor to the 9th floor. At that point, you'll have to either defeat the super boss at the end of the dungeon or restart, because you can't get out. You can't leave backwards, because the door going to that floor from the 8th floor is only openable from the side that we would go for normally if you're going through the path normally. So if you fall down there, you're fucked. Basically, at these levels, there's no way you're beating that super boss unless you're cheesing your way through it. So, anyway, this leads back to the start of the area, so we don't need to go there. So let's head down this way. Okay. Finish off that battle. Let's head here. Welcome to the Cave of Trials. Proceed, you need courage and strength. First, you'll have to defeat me. Know your abilities, and now combat. Yeah, we're gonna get a boss at each floor, and the first few aren't difficult. After which we'll start to find some that at least have some amount of challenge to them, or at least some reason to fight. Opera's not going to do her job, but oh well.
Worthless.
Yes.
And we gain more
Not
levels.
yet.
We're gonna gain a bunch of levels as we go through here. You've fought and beaten me. Proceed to the next level. Now, as a prerequisite for coming in, we get more bunny shoes. Whoop-de-doo. But as a prerequisite for coming in here, I would recommend doing all the item creation that I did earlier in the game. Now, this item creation could have been done to an extent on Disc 1. This is Love Alley. And it can be done right now before you do it. I decided to do it in the middle, kind of right at the start of Disc 2. But just know that you can do it at any point in time. Any type of protection against elemental or stone or petrification will be good. Star guards are always good in here. Anything that gives you additional stats, Odin's helms are good. Bunny shoes are almost required in here. They're not, but they make your life a lot easier. Fairy rings will be required if you're working on techs. If you're not, you could probably take them off. I wouldn't recommend Atlas rings. You could use them, but they lower your elemental defense so much that I basically just disregard them for almost the entire game and pretty much every playthrough I do. There are certain ways to make use of them where it's not going to hurt you all that much, but we don't need to worry about that until Super Boss time. Sylvan Mail, like I said, anything to protect yourself. This protects you against some elements, so that's good. Reflective armor protects against some elements, so that's good. You have the right weapon on, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. I would recommend, as you're going through the dungeon, every couple of floors or so, run out and save, because there's no save points in this entire area. And so that'll just make life a little bit easier for you, and it's a pain to have to run out, but I had talked before about the fact that the game does freeze on you from time to time. I've heard that it happens more often here, and it's usually when coming out of a battle. So I would recommend, if you're using an emulator, use your save states, that's fine. If you're not using an emulator, then I'd run out and save every once in a while, just to, you know, cross your T's and dot your I's, and just make sure that you're not wasting too much time in case it does freeze on you. But anyway, that's pretty much all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.